Visiting with Laramie coach Chuck Syverson as we get set for the end of the regular season. Kind of hard to believe, but we have done quite a few of these now. This is our 9th one, and end of the regular season, almost kind of the start of the playoffs, though, at the same time. And it sounds like that's the way you guys are treating this matchup against Kelly Walsh Friday night.
Yeah, we're really trying to get as high of a seed as possible for the playoff, just give us the best chance to advance. And I think we've got some good matchups with some of the potential teams we could see in that first round, and still have the goal of getting that home playoff game. And I think as long as we can get our job done and Rock Springs takes care of business this year, we have an opportunity to do that.
Of course, if folks are not familiar, Laramie can finish anywhere from 4 to 7, depending upon the outcome of your game against Kelly Walsh. But also, you got to watch Natrona East and South, so a lot of different scenarios. And I know you want to stay away from Gillette or Sheridan in the first round, that long road trip. How do you go about doing that and approaching this important of a game with your squad? And you've been kind of through this situation the last couple of years. Maybe not for a seed, but more so getting into the playoffs. This time, it's for the seed.
It's just we want to, again, finish on a high note and have some momentum going into the playoffs. We've played well against Kelly in the past and want to continue that. We've put in some new things this week that I think keep the guys occupied with their mind a little bit better and gives them something to focus on and to get better at, and just keep building on what we've been doing. I thought we threw the ball quite a bit last week, didn't run the ball as well as I would have liked, so we've really been focusing on the running game this week and defensively not giving up any big plays. I think if we can not give up big plays these next few weeks, it's going to give us the best opportunity as well.
You mentioned big plays, and that obviously was the difference last week. Sometimes coaches say it's not as bad as you look when you watch the film. It's not as good as you thought it was. What did you take away from the Gillette film?
It might have been as bad as I thought it was. I thought we played, first half I thought we played pretty well, both sides of the ball. Third quarter was as bad as I thought it was from the sideline. Just gave up too many big plays, didn't take care of the ball offensively, didn't move the ball and control the clock like we had talked about doing, and gave them too many opportunities in that third quarter. And to our credit, I think our guys bounced back pretty well in that fourth quarter and finished the game strong and gave them some momentum going into this week, and I think kind of ended that game feeling positive that they played 3 or 4 quarters, and they still know they have to get that other quarter, though, to get a complete game and get a victory against someone like that.
Kelly Walsh, what do they present in terms of a challenge this year?
Probably their biggest thing, I think, for us offensively is they're big up front. They'll probably be the biggest team we've seen all year, and they don't get a lot of penetration, but they're pretty hard to move, and so we're going to have to do some things with that. And they have a couple different defensive ends. One is more of an upfield guy, one's more of a squeeze the edge guy, so we have to adjust our running game and passing game to accommodate for both of those guys. And being a cover 3 team, I think that kind of plays into our strengths. They do some things in the red zone that I think we can take advantage of. So there's definitely some things we can do offensively that I think will be successful this week.
From their offense and our defense, how does that match up?
Same kind of thing. They're pretty big up front, so we're going to have to make sure we hold our own on the line of scrimmage with our D linemen. Garrett, I think, should have a good week this week. I know he got pretty frustrated last week, but Tucker's a good player, and I think it was a good test for him to see where he was at and how much better he needs to get, and not to just be satisfied with where he was. Even though he was having a great year, I think he still gave him an opportunity that he can improve, and so I would anticipate him having a much better week this week. And Carlos, being a week removed from having that cast on, hopefully he has a better game as well. So if those guys, those two especially, can have a good game, I think that really helps us a lot. And their quarterback doesn't throw real well, and they try to run the ball a little bit more, so they run him. He was a running back, got moved to quarterback, so they're trying to run him a little bit more, so we definitely have to take away quarterback run this week.
Always an interesting matchup. You've never lost to Kelly Walsh. Was the pressure on you?
Not really. We try not to put pressure on kids in that situation. I think the biggest thing is we're in the playoffs at this point, and we're just trying to improve where we're at right now, so we're going to be even better next week.
Well, some pressure taken off, but some pressure still there to try and get up to that 4 spot. We wish you nothing but the best luck on Friday night at 7 o'clock.
All right, thanks.
Coach Chuck Syverson, Laramie at Kelly Walsh. It is a 7 o'clock kickoff. You can listen to the game on KOWB, online at KOWB1290.com, or take us on your mobile device with our Radio Pup app. Coverage starts at 5:30 Friday, and again, Laramie can finish anywhere from 4th to 7th, depending upon the outcome of their game against Kelly Walsh. Plus, we'll be keeping a close eye on Natrona against Rock Springs, East Gillette, and Cheyenne South also with their matchup. So a lot to look forward to Friday night.